Well, hey, folks, it's time for the racing season to start, and you might know it'd be I-35 that's going to have one of the first races of the year and the last race of the year, it seems like. And I give your dad and the crew up here credit for that. Houston, and by the way, Houston Johnson, USLRA champ last year. I give your dad and the crew credit for that. It's got to be a challenge on both ends of this racing season like that.
Yeah, he's traditionally always, started earlier than everybody and races longer. So it seems like the off seasons are pretty short. They go quick, but it seems like a lot of other places are starting early too, though. I mean, it's kind of becoming a little bit of a trend, but can't blame him.
Yeah, I think 36 goes next week, and of course then into April while they'll kick off their season. But like I say, I give your dad credit for that. I mean, I know it's a little extra money in the pocket, but whatever, we won't go into that. But what I wanted to ask you, being the USRA champion, national champion last year, is when you go into the season like this, what have you got in the back of your mind? Is it just one of those things where, well, let's just start out and see how things go? Or are you saying, another championship this year?
I think the old me would have probably been like, try to get another championship. This year, my wife and I just had a baby in November right after the season.
That changes everything.
So I don't think I'm going to travel around much on Fridays or anything, so I think I'm just going to run up here Saturdays and see where I'm at, and then if later in this, if everything's going well and I think I need to or have a shot, I might chase later in the year, but I'm not setting that goal like I had, you know what I mean? So
well, I think that's one thing too with winning a points championship and having the winning efforts that you had last year, is you can kind of say, well, hey, I think I've done this. I can kind of relax a little bit. I've got nothing to prove to anybody. I've done it. I mean, does that play into your thinking at all?
I mean, yeah, I never would have guessed I would have accomplished something like that. And, it's obviously a big honor to have achieved that. But I don't know, like it still doesn't feel like it. I don't think it's ever going to set in necessarily. Yeah. I'm just, at the end of the day, I just try to remember it's to have fun and, don't get, I'm real bad about getting super competitive. And now that I've accomplished that, I'm trying to have the mindset of having fun, but I mean, it's tough. Like if you race enough, you find yourself into points battles and stuff like that, but just try to have fun this year and see what happens.
I've done both sides of that. I've done the points stuff, racing RC, of course, not big cars, folks, but RC. But I've done that. You win that points thing, and you do stuff you shouldn't do in the first place when you do it, because you got to have that extra tenth or that little bit, or another set of tires will be faster, or stuff like that. Where on the other hand, when you don't run for points, it's just, well, hey, that was a fun night. I didn't win, but by golly, I had a good time. Me and so-and-so had a heck of a race. I mean, is that kind of way you're thinking?
Yeah, it's just like last year, it was just kind of super stressful the whole year, you know what I mean? And then you, like, somebody asked me, like, oh, what did it feel like? And I'm like, I was just relieved when I won. Like, it was just that it was over. Like, it sounds really bad, but like it was a really cool deal. But I mean, the amount of hours and time, money that you have to pour into it, and miles up and down the road is just wild, and it can burn you out. You know what I mean? So, I'm glad I went after it when I did. While I was like, none of us are getting any younger. I'm still in my 20s, but like, with working a full-time job, like it is just it's tough. And I mean, there's some tracks this year. It would have been easier this year because there's some Friday night tracks that have A-mods again. Last year I was driving to Oklahoma, so I was like, taking off work, and it was just
that'd be bad.
I remember one night towards the end of the year, it's like had 2 flat tires on the trailer going down, and so it's like we got down to the track and we're trying to find a new tire and stuff, and then I ended up winning that night, which made it better, but it was stressful. You know what I mean? So get back to having fun.
I don't know how any of the local guys actually can go out and do that, like Shadron Turner's been doing here for a couple of years. Of course, he's going to get married, I think, this year, and yet, you know, a kid usually follows when you do that. And like I say, it changes your whole outlook, your mental attitude, everything about it, I believe. And how local guys can do that, I don't know. And the Heartland Tour, bless their heart, it's a good group and it's fun to watch, and they got some good cars. But for local guys to do that, I think it's really tough.
Yeah, starting a family it totally changes like your outlook on racing. Like for the longest time, I've always been like, racing, you know, is just awesome. And now it's like, I mean, you have a kid and it's like they're your whole world and they trump everything. It's like win or lose, like you get to go home to him and that's what matters. And so, I mean,
right now it's just a small little thing. Wait until they get big enough for Little League, and you know, then you're going to be doing go-karts and then probably mini sprints or something after that, and that's more time. So you're just on the brink of it right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the one nice thing is we'll just play it by ear and see how everything goes. And I mean, like the Heartland Tour, they have a good schedule that they put out, and you know, I see why some people do it because of, you know, you race one weekend, then you're off a couple weekends and stuff. But I don't know. I think for to be up here and stuff and support my parents and you know, just it's close to home for me, so it's easier. It's like not race on Fridays, come up here one night, and then, you know, with them, like we have the suites, stuff like that. So it's just like it's the comfortability aspect of being able to, you know, take care of my family at the same time of being able to race, scratch the itch. I
shouldn't use this as a comparison, but it's almost like being on drugs, because once a week you could get your fix in racing.
That's what I'm thinking right now. Yeah.
And you know, the rest of the time, well, you're open for everything else in life, but it is terrible. And like I say, it's as bad in RC racing as this is, in that, you know, if you get that track time, I don't know about you, but it's got to be the same when you're in that car. There's a feeling that comes over you. Well, Tom Charles used to say it was like getting in the cathedral. When you went in there, it was kind of a sacred place.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. No matter what's going on in like your personal life, it's you don't have time to think. You know what I mean? So that's probably the most clear-headed you can be is in a race car. You know what I mean? So I get what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's done it a long time. So if anybody knows, Tom ought to know, because he spent a lot of time in the cockpit. But anyway, as far as this year goes, we got anything new? I mean, is it the same old hot rod or same engine builder? Can you give us just a little bit rundown on the car as what you're going to be going out there after these boys with this year?
Yeah, so it's a new car. It's the same chassis builder. It's a Bloodline race car by Terry Phillips. Same motor builder, Kevin Stoa, KS Engineering. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, same sponsors. I got a couple new ones. I got Molly Auto Group still. Carpenter's Classics. I added Scobie Powerline Construction, Generational Buildings, Atlantic Coca-Cola, Shane Roach Concrete and Construction. Man, I'm rusty. It's a little early in the year.
It's early in the year. You haven't got them all memorized. Yeah, go ahead, take a look. It won't bother me.
Yeah, I got them covered. And then Schaefer's Oil and Precision Performance Racing Suspensions.
Just the one thing, and I know everybody likes to know this kind of stuff, but what's the shock package?
I've got Integra shocks, and I get them through Terry Phillips, and then when I use Precision Performance they've always been really good to me. So if I ding one up, I send it up there, they get me taken care of, and get it sent right back.
It's a good deal.
Yep.
I got to ask you about Terry, and I hear so many guys. In fact, the one that used to be so bad about it was Tim Carrick, and that was when he was running those Shyrock cars. God, he'd call that guy from Lakeside Speedway in the pits 4 or 5 times a night. Is Terry pretty accessible when there's a problem? Can you just pick up the phone and get a hold of him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I don't think I've ever bugged him during a race night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, anytime I text him, call him, he picks up. He's got, a couple crew guys that I talk to if I need anything as well. So, yeah, he's been great to me. He's the most accessible chassis builder I've ever worked with, and he's just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, oh, man,
he
tell me
points me
about
in
it.
the right
Yeah.
direction, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate. I think he's been a big part of my success. And
Is Jake Richards' boy still helping him? I know I can't remember his first name. I raced RC with him years ago, but he was helping Terry out for a while, and I can't remember.
I think that was right. I know who you're talking about. I think he's helping somebody else now. I think it was right before I started working with Terry on some stuff. When I think that winter before or something is when he switched.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I know you're getting ready to go out for some hot laps, and we missed an interview. I wanted to do one with you during the winter and just flub that up. Well, I didn't flub it up. I had some other issues that come up. I couldn't do it. But anyway, good luck on the racing season. And, folks, this is the only guy that has his own private garage in the pit area. If you could see around here, you would see that it's a pretty good-sized barn or whatever, and you can actually pit inside, rain, sleet, or snow. And, of course, I don't know about heat. Is it air conditioned?
It is not, unfortunately. So, yep, we got to suffer with the 95-degree weather we have today.
Suffer with everybody else. That's all we're going to do tonight. It's 92. We'll be out there. But anyway, Houston, thank you a lot for taking some time. And like I say, I'll let you go. I know you got to get ready for go out there and do battle with these boys this year for 2026. But congratulations on the championship, and thanks a bundle for having a little talk with me.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
All righty. I appreciate that.
How warm is it? I don't have much time we got. Okay?
Got Doug Keller here. Doug, man, been a competitor here at I-35 for a number of years. I don't know how you finished in the points last year, but I thought I got to talk to Doug just to see what he's looking forward to here in 2026.
Well, we ended up finishing second last year with a limited schedule because we did the Ironman deal. And this year we're waiting to see what happens with fuel prices and all that. But we almost have 2 complete cars, which is what we were wanting a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see how the economy and all that, what we can afford to do.
Absolutely. And I know you come from kind of a varied background. You didn't run, was it ARCA or something like that you ran, 10 years ago?
Yeah, I ran ARCA for, off and on for like 13 years.
Wow.
And then I ran Craftsman trucks for 3 years. I've drove go-karts, late models. I drove an E-mod once, B-mods, A-mods, stock cars. So, yeah, kind of tried everything once, I think.
Yeah. All I can tell you, Doug, is when I come up to I-35 and I know you're in a race, man, I keep my eye on you no matter where you are because I know you like to run the bottom, and I see you down there, and I'm thinking, man, you just got to watch this guy because you never know what he's going to pull off out there on that track.
Yeah, I just try to adapt to the track, and every once in a while I really throw a curveball and get on the top, and they're like, what were you doing? And I was like, well, I was passing people, so I just had to stay there until somebody proved it wasn't the place to be. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I'm a bottom feeder, too. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, just tell us briefly about the car. I know you're about ready to go out too, but what kind of chassis are you running, who builds the motors and the shock deal?
I have 2 Sniper chassis. Both of them are 2018s. And then this car has the Stoa motor in it. And the other car, we got a new fast lane motor in it. So excited to get it out here pretty soon.
I was going to say Fastlane, man, they do some good work. Who is it? Jake Richards, I think, is one of the guys that goes up there. And there's another one, but I can't think of it right now, having a senior moment. But anyway, Doug, all I can say is have some fun tonight and enjoy watching you. So like I say, I got my eye on you when you're out there, so have some fun.
Yeah, thank you. And hopefully I'm up far enough that I get into the camera so I can go home and study it and enjoy it from the other side of the fence, you know?
Yeah, and I got a new camera tonight, so, man, it's a good one, so you should be able to see yourself real good. But like I say, always fun to watch you, Doug. I know you'll be in the front somewhere.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of pretty cars here tonight for sure. So mine's only got 4 races on the body, so it's not the old beat-up trash can we normally bring to the track. So we'll try to keep it straight and be up front.
All right, folks. Once more, Doug Keller in the stock car class. Watch out for number 7, if I remember right. Number 7 out there, yellow and black. Have fun, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
here in this E-Modified A feature presented by Carpenter's Classics and Team Spray Foam. It's trouble for Gary Myers. Hold on just one sec. Alrighty, race fans, lights are out. CRCs and services, green flag, getting ready to cut loose these E-Modified drivers. Chris DeShong, Garrett Stoneham, Blake Hayes, Tony Lane, your top 2 rows. Green flag is out.
As we head into one, DeJong will slide up into the top spot. Blake Hayes going to the inside. Stoneham running the middle. Hayes with a great run. He's going to be door-to-door with our leader down the backstretch. Stoneham running third. Hayes in second now. Tony Lane in fourth. After one, Chris DeJong is our leader.
DeShong, our early leader. Top 4 cars start to separate themselves. That is DeShong, our leader, with now Stoneham getting passed by Hayes. That's our race for second. Hayes will clear into 3 and 4, jumps up top. So it's going to be DeShong, Hayes, Stoneham, Lane, and the 21 of Connor Johnson, your top 5. You're good. I got you. DeShong with a pretty comfortable lead on this race for second. 3 cars under a blanket in that battle for second. Blake Hayes has it right now with Garrett Stoneham. Tony Lane right there behind him. It's through 1 and 2. DeShong jumps down low, then slides out down the backstretch. He goes now in that black and orange number 41 as Blake Hayes is going to try something else. He's going to jump up top through 3 and 4, see what that has to offer for him.
And that time by DeJong, still the fastest car on track. Garrett Stoneham running about a 10th faster than Blake Hayes. As Tony Lane settles into 4th, DeJong this time by completes lap number 5. Tony Lane with trouble puts it in the infield here, our 4th place car.
Trouble for the 71 of Lane. So he parks it in the infield. So that's going to move up. I believe that to be the 52J. Casey Burnett now is our 3rd place car with Mark Anderson in 5th. I had to think about that. Sorry.
Hayes still runs second. Stoneham right behind him. But Chris DeJong is really checked away here. I believe that's Chance Bruni back there battling that 21 as DeJong comes by. Completes lap 7.
Chris DeShong still showing the way. I believe he's led them all so far. Blake Hayes still right there in second. Not quite close enough to make a move on your leader, DeShong, but keeping good pace with the leader. That time at the line, looks like DeShong's still faster.
DeJong may start to catch some lap cars here. Looks like Mahoney would be the first on that list. That 21 of Connor Johnson not far ahead. As Blake Hayes now sits almost 2 seconds flat behind our leader.
So that lap from first to second, gap from first to second, not really closing up much. As now it is 2 laps to go, presented by Seaberg Muffler for Chris DeShong.
Through 1 and 2 here, DeJong starting to catch up to Mahoney. Stoneham making a run on Hayes here for second as well. Chris DeJong right in the inside, slides up off of 4. He's coming to the Remax Heritage white flag.
Indeed he is. One more time around for Chris DeShong. Has led them all so far. Can he lead the most important lap, the last one? So he heads into 3. Little bit of lap traffic with Mahoney. Shouldn't be any issue for that 41. He hits it up top through 3 and 4. Molly Auto Group checkered flag goes to the 51 of Chris DeShong. Blake Hayes finishes in second. Garrett Stoneham in 3rd. Looks like it will be Casey Burnett, our 4th place finisher, and Mark Anderson in 5th. In the Team Spray Foam E-Modifieds.
Okay, 40.
Caution is out again. The 17 of Hinkle is stopped in turn 1.
While we have a minute here, I just want to go ahead and shout out all of our amazing sponsors here at I-35 Speedway. All of these sponsors are making this racing season happen. First of all, Mully Auto Group, Scobie Power Line, Carpenter's Classic Auction Company, Generational Buildings, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Kelly Drossel, Remax Heritage, Brooklyn Anderson, CR Seeds and Services, Kingdom Truss, Team Spray Foam, Rod End Supply, Racing Dirt, Triple Cross Trucking, Casey's, Seaberg Muffler, O'Reilly's.
And the Racing Dirt caution lights are going out. We'll get the rest of those sponsors next time we can. Here comes the USRA Tuner Class first green flag of the season.
Looks like it's going to be Curtis versus Mick as they head into turn 1. Joshua Robb also right there in third. We saw this earlier in the heat race. Oh, a little contact. Everyone keeps it going straight. Looks like that back car, I believe the 153 of Candidate, got the worst
for the
of it.
lead too, Dylan.
All you.
As it's Curtis, I think, at the line. Rob on the bottom, Mick in the middle. He's going to push Curtis up the track. Gets by for the moment. Here comes J.R. Curtis right behind him. Rob running the inside. Everyone behind him single file, but the top 3 are beating and banging. Now it's Curtis in the middle, coming off of the corner as Mick leads this lap.
What a race for the lead. This one is between Brad Mick, J.R. Curtis, and Joshua Robb. Down the backstretch, those 3 cars go. Mick leads into 1. They fall single file. Mick and Curtis up top. Joshua Robb on the bottom. It's going to be Mick again, this time by the line.
Rob starting to fall back a little on the inside here too. He's dive bombing. Somebody's getting black flagged here. It's a 76. Flat tire on the 76. He'll put it in the infield. Brad Mick still our leader. Curtis in second. Rob trying to get it from him. They're going to get awfully close coming down the front stretch here, but they stay 1, 2, 3 where they are.
Awfully close. I don't know if they ever touched, but yeah, you're not lying. They got very close off of turn 4 there. This time a little more room for Curtis to make his move. He will clear Rob down the backstretch. These two still chasing your race leader, Brad Mick, showing the way in this Triple Cross Trucking Tuner feature race.
These two are getting close again down the front stretch. Rob on the inside, Curtis on the outside. Rob, I think, is trying to slide up in front of that 21. Not able to get it done yet. There's some contact, I think. Awfully close still between the two of them. Side by side here. Rob trying to get second, and Curtis just not letting him get it.
Those two keep battling it out for second now. It looks like Rob's going to have the advantage off of 2, but big run off the corner down the backstretch for Curtis. Curtis stays high, Rob low. Through 3 and 4 as Brad Mick comes by and puts another lap away.
Brad Mick out to a big lead, second and third side by side. So are fourth and fifth. They were as Samuel Moore now gets clear of Kennedy. We are coming to the Seaberg Mufflers, 2 to go here for the 31 of Brad Mick. Behind him, Curtis still fighting back on the outside. Rob's got problems now.
Trouble for one of our top cars, Joshua Robb, slow into 1 and 2. That allows that 95 of Samuel Moore to get by him as well as Dan Canaday in the 153. We stay green and Robb stays going. But now our Remax Heritage white flag coming out for Brad Mick.
Final lap of the first feature of the USRA Tuner class, brought to you by Rod End Supply. First Carpenter's Classic feature of the season for the Tuners. First race for the Compacts under the USRA banner here as Brad Mick picks up where he left off, winning the Tuner opener. Curtis gets second. Then it's the 95 of Moore, Kennedy, and the 48R of Rob coming home fifth. Give it up one more time for the 31 of Brad Mick.
CR Season Services, green flag out long, leads into 1, but here comes that 18 of Bartell. Bartell with a big move. He's going to lead the pack down the backstretch. Long second. The 174 of Lampy in third. Coming off of 4, looks like
13
Bartell.
of Beam gets sideways, saves it on the bottom. As our leader is Gavin Bartell for the first lap. 3 wide behind him as a 06B gets clear. Here comes a 00 side by side. 66 is slow going down the backstretch as Sean Wirtz is going to go around. Everybody able to clear him as the Racing Dirt caution lights come out.
CR Season Services, green flag back out as Bartlett leads us into turn 1.
Bartell on the outside here, 06B on the bottom. Here comes the other long. That is the 0B on the outside of the 174 Lamp. 189 of Brown rounds out our top 5 as Bartell scoots away to the lead. 420 slow on the backstretch as the Mystery Machine goes over the berm.
Tough break for Jamie Wilson, but back up front, the 18 of Gavin Bartell still leading the way here in this one, but the 06B of Braden Long starting to reel him in. But now here comes the 174. Derek Lampy started second, now has that 174 back up to second. Going to try and reel in Bartell for the lead.
Fastest car on track at the moment is our leader, Bartell, but that 174 Lamp's only 2/10 slower. As Bartell comes by the line here, his lead is shrinking as we have a car around and the Racing Dirt caution lights out.
Green flag racing courtesy of CR Seeds and Services. Gavin Bartell, your leader in the 18 JR. He's going to bring us back to racing.
Bartell leads us into 1. That 06B trying to cut down on Lamp. We're going to get through, I think, but that got tight. 06 gets clear down the back. 00 right behind him goes up to the top. Lamp running there in third, slides up to the outside as Bartell leads another.
Little contact between 2 of our top 5 cars that time by the line. Looks like Tyler Brown and Braylon Long got together a little bit. Both drivers keep it going, keep their position. So up front, it's still Gavin Bartell showing the way. Brandon Long in second. That 174, Derek Lampy, still third.
Bartell, our fastest car. Next fastest is Tyler Brown there in fourth. Lamp might have kissed the outside wall there going down the back stretch. He slid up awfully high. Here off of 4. Bartell still your leader. Now down to 0.7 of a second as Brandon Long starting to find some speed.
I was going to say Brandon Long seems to be reeling in Bartell through the corners, but Bartell with the straightaway speed is what's keeping him up front right now. Brandon Long starting to reel in your leader. We have 4 laps to go.
Bartell's lead now down to 0.4 of a second as Brandon Long is there off of 2 at his nose on the inside. What's he going to do this time? Backs out of it, trying to cut down to the inside of the 18. I think Bartell's going to have a better corner that time. Back up to 0.5 a second.
Bartell holds on to the lead. Don't look too far ahead, race fans, but the lap car is starting to get a little closer to them. Hopefully does not play a huge factor in the end of this one, but coming to 2 to go here. Seaberg Mufflers, 2 laps to go for Gavin Bartell.
2 to go for Bartell. He's got the 75A. Johnson coming down the track right ahead of our leader. 06B running right behind him. Bartell trying to get out of the way, and now the 06B on the outside. The 06B gets loose behind the lap car, and Bartell able to get clear and take the Remax Heritage white flag.
Last time around, this one could get interesting coming down to the line. Your leader's heading down the backstretch. Gavin Bartell leads them into 3. Brandon Long looking for one last shot at it. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. Moliata Group checkered flag goes to Gavin Bartell. Brandon Long finishes in 2nd. Derek Lampy in 3rd. Tyler Brown 4th. And the flagman, Jason Teal, rounds out our top 5. Race and Dirt caution lights are turned off. We're going to be going 15 laps in this B-Mod. Features the CR Seeds and Services green flag comes out.
Clancy and Dunwoody side by side. That 2X of Hamilton in the fight as well. Dunwoody slides up high. We got trouble here at the very start. I didn't even see him here on the front stretch. That'll bring out the Race and Dirt caution flag.
That looks to be the 345 of Jimmy Downs. I'm still trying to get the front car here. Hey, what's the car number down there?
03. Nathan Baker.
Involved in that Race and Dirt caution was the 345 of Jimmy Downs, and that looks to be the 03X of Nathan Baker. Race and Dirt caution lights have been turned out. Didn't complete the first lap there, so still 15 laps on the board for your Schaefer's Racing Oil B modifieds as we go back to racing.
Dunwoody and Clancy side by side into 1 here. Hamilton on the inside of Dunwoody now. We all get through 1 and 2, it looks like. Down the backstretch, and Hamilton goes around. Big impact. 3 over the berm. Multiple cars involved here as the Race and Dirt yellow comes out. Green flag is coming out for the Schaefer's Oil B mods as Clancy and Dunwoody head into 1 side by side. Hamilton recovered. Here he is, but McLaughlin crosses him over.
3 wide off of 2. Hamilton in the middle. He thinks better of that. He's going to live to fight another day into 3 and 4. Dunwoody about as high up as you can run through 3 and 4. He makes it stick, falls back into 3rd. McLaughlin 2nd.
Hamilton running on the bottom, 3rd in line. Here comes Daniel Harris. Where did he come from? Started in 8th all the way up to 4th now. We knew he was going to be a factor, and here he comes towards the front. But Dunwoody sinking like a rock.
Daniel Harris in that 07 kind of struggled in the heat race, struggled from what we're used to out of that 07, but he seems to got things right
Look
in
at
the
this
feature.
Car's coming off of 2, Dylan. Sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
you
but
are
that looks
good.
like Armageddon in the making.
It is a traffic jam from about 6th on back. Everyone looking for a place to go, but Chad Clancy up front, clear sailing for that 57.
And here comes Harris into 3rd now as Hamilton slides up high. Top 3 separating themselves as the Natterday machine trying to make his way towards the front.
See a little bit of the damage on that 2X of Hamilton. Got to wonder if that is kind of slowing him up a bit as that 25 of Chris Burke, the Natterday car, trying to work his inside for 4th. Now Hamilton jumps way up top through 3 and 4 at the line. It will be Burke in 4th.
Fastest car on track is our leader, but Derry McLaughlin running in the 18-second bracket too. So is our 3rd place car, Burke now. No, Harris is a transponder, just not tripping. Harris still our 3rd.
Hamilton off.
2X at Hamilton goes off the track there.
Clancy starting to reel in a bit of that lap traffic. First on the list, Jimmy Downs. So we're approaching not quite halfway home yet in this one. Chad Clancy looking to make his move around Jimmy Downs. McLaughlin still 2nd. Daniel Harris in 3rd. Burke in 4th with Adam Dunwoody in 5th.
Clancy on the inside of Downs here, able to put him a lap down. So he heads into 1 and takes 7 laps to go. Down the backstretch here, Clancy catching up with the 08D of Dalton Stroll as McLaughlin and now the 07 of Harris get around downs. And Clancy catching more lap traffic.
According to the My Race Pass app, Chad Clancy still the fastest car on the track by about 0.3. So this lap traffic not slowing up that 57 one bit as he continues to work through traffic, now looking to the outside of Dalton Stroll.
You said that, Dylan, but he's been trying to pass the 08 for about a lap and a half as Stroll got a little into the nose of the
I think
57.
Clancy's getting a little restless back there.
He's getting sick of running where he is. McLaughlin is just watching this gap shrink and shrink as the laps wind down. McLaughlin goes around. Not McLaughlin, excuse me, Stroll. I think Clancy got a little impatient.
Is Dalton Stroll.
Yep.
So racing dirt caution back out on track. The 08D of Dalton Stroll around N3 and 4. That 08D spun out right in front of your leader, Chad Clancy, but great job by our lead cars to avoid Stroll.
Green flag is coming out for the Schaefer's Oil B mods as Clancy and Dunwoody head into one side by side. Hamilton recovered. Here he is, but McLaughlin crosses him over.
3 wide off of 2. Hamilton in the middle. He thinks better of that. He's going to live to fight another day into 3 and 4. Dunwoody about as high up as you can run through 3 and 4. He makes it stick, falls back into 3rd. McLaughlin 2nd.
Hamilton running on the bottom, 3rd in line. Here comes Daniel Harris. Where did he come from? Started in 8th all the way up to 4th now. We knew he was going to be a factor, and here he comes towards the front. But Dunwoody sinking like a rock.
Daniel Harris in that 07 kind of struggled in the heat race, struggled from what we're used to out of that 07, but he seems to got things right
Look
in
at
the
this
feature.
cars coming off of 2, Dylan. Sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
you
but
are
that looks
good.
like Armageddon in the making.
It is a traffic jam from about 6th on back. Everyone looking for a place to go. But Chad Clancy up front, clear sailing for that 57.
And here comes Harris into 3rd now as Hamilton slides up high. Top 3 separating themselves as the Natterday machine trying to make his way towards the front.
See a little bit of the damage on that 2X of Hamilton. Got to wonder if that is kind of slowing him up a bit as that 25 of Chris Burke, the Natterday car, trying to work his inside for 4th. Now Hamilton jumps way up top through 3 and 4 at the line. It will be Burke in 4th.
Fastest car on track is our leader, but Derry McLaughlin running in the 18-second bracket too. So is our 3rd place car of Burke now. No, Harris is a transponder, just not tripping. Harris still our 3rd.
Hamilton off.
2X at Hamilton goes off the track there.
Clancy starting to reel in a bit of that lap traffic. First on the list, Jimmy Downs. So we're approaching not quite halfway home yet in this one. Chad Clancy looking to make his move around Jimmy Downs. McLaughlin still 2nd. Daniel Harris in 3rd. Burke in 4th with Adam Dunwoody in 5th.
Clancy on the inside of Downs here, able to put him a lap down. So he heads into 1 and takes 7 laps to go. Down the backstretch here, Clancy catching up with the 08D of Dalton Stroll as McLaughlin and now the 07 of Harris get around downs. And Clancy catching more lap traffic.
According to the My Race Pass app, Chad Clancy still the fastest car on the track by about 0.3. So this lap traffic not slowing up that 57 one bit as he continues to work through traffic, now looking to the outside of Dalton Stroll.
You said that, Dylan, but he's been trying to pass the 08 for about a lap and a half as Stroll got a little into the nose of the
I think
57.
Clancy's getting a little restless back there.
He's getting sick of running where he is. McLaughlin is just watching this gap shrink and shrink as the laps wind down. McLaughlin goes around. Not McLaughlin, excuse me, Stroll. I think Clancy got a little impatient.
Is Dalton strolling?
Yep.
So Racing Dirt caution back out on track. The 08D of Dalton Stroll around N3 and 4. That 08D spun out right in front of your leader, Chad Clancy, but great job by our lead cars to avoid Stroll.
5 to go here for Clancy. As Dunwoody gets primed to launch outside. Green flag back out at I-35.
Great jump by the 57 of Clancy. He jumps down low into 1 and 2. First car out of line is that 33D of Adam Dunwoody. Not able to make anything yet as he looks to the outside of Burke through 3 and 4. But everyone's still chasing that red and black 57 of Chad Clancy.
Racing Dirt caution flag is going to come out. 2 cars spun around over there in the middle of 3 and 4. That is the 27 of Mike and Iverson, and I think the 08D of Dalton Stroll once again.
Chad Clancy's led them all. Can he hold on for 4 more? CRCs and services. Green flag back out.
Clancy leads us into 1. McLaughlin right behind him. CB25 of Chris Burke there on the inside of Harris. They stay where they are, 1st through 5th. Harris looking to the inside of McLaughlin as Clancy takes 4 to go this time by.
Chad Clancy jumps down low through 1 and 2 like he's done all race long. Darian McLaughlin still there in 2nd, trying to find some speed to maybe catch up with that 57 of Clancy. And Daniel Harris started in the back, but he's made his way up to 3rd. 2 laps to go, presented by Seaberg Mufflers.
Clancy down the backstretch. McLaughlin, Harris, Chris Burke, and Dunwoody the top 5 as that Remax Heritage white flag comes out for the 57 seed.
Last time around for Chad Clancy, looking to cap off a near perfect night here in the Schaefer's Racing Oil B Modified feature race. Through 3 and 4, protects the low side. Chad Clancy will take the Mully Auto checkered flag and win the USRA B Mod feature race. McLaughlin 2nd, Daniel Harris 3rd, Adam Dunwoody in 4th, and Chris Burke with a great run finishing in 5th. Race fans, your Scobie Powerline stock cars getting ready to go green here. 15 laps on the board. Jason Estes, Jeffrey Sears bring us down to CRCs and services. Green flag.
Into 1 here. Estes on the bottom. Here's Keller on the inside. Corey Myers takes it 3 wide to go from 5th to 3rd in the corner. Jeffrey Sears fighting back up top. Whole pack of cars going in together. I think we're all going to make it through the other side, as it looks like David Davis goes around at the back, and that'll bring out the Racing Dirt caution flag.
Lights go back out. Still 15 laps left on the board for this Carpenter's Classic feature race. Jason Estes, Jeffrey Sears, still your front row. CRCs and services. Green flag back out.
Big jump again for Estes here into 1. Keller and Derry freight training behind him. Myers not able to take the 3 wide run he did last time, so he'll stay in 4th. Derry slides up in front of Cadwallader as Schweizer goes behind him. Sears to the outside of Estes through 3 and 4. At the line, Jason Estes leads a whole pack of drivers behind him.
Say Estes our early leader, but it is a traffic jam back behind him all the way back through the pack. Doug Keller in 2nd. Jeffrey Sears still our 3rd place car. Now Racing Dirt caution back out That one's going to be on the 9X of Anthony Manley. About to go back, green flag racing here in this stock car feature race presented by Carpenter's Classic. Jason Estes, your lead car, brings us back to CR Seeds and Services, green flag racing.
Derry and Keller getting awfully close here going into one. Keller's going to get the edge on the bottom. 3 wide behind him. Awfully packed in there towards the inside line as Cadwallader crosses him over. Sears goes to the outside. Got a freight train, log jam, however you want to call it. A lot of cars stacked up. Looks like Custer's got some damage from it. No, that's ground, excuse me.
Cars do look a lot alike, but up front, Jason Estes starting to pull away from the 7 of Doug Keller. Everyone else behind them still kind of fighting for ground. Little contact through 3 and 4 between Derry and the 13 of Sears. Grounds holds on to it from off of 4.
3 cars trying to take the same piece of real estate. That's going to send one of them way high through 1 and 2. Slow up there now. 21H of Hoover with trouble. He needs to pull it off here. Estes, our leader, coming down the back. A lot of cars like 3rd through 8th all packed in together as a Hoover is going to take it over the berm.
Everyone take a breath.
I know, I was worried about that.
Estes still leading, Doug Keller in second. Those top 2 cars starting to separate themselves from this traffic jam. That is 3rd on back. Derry's in there, Cadwallader, Rodney Schweizer,
Clayton Brown,
Shane Bailey.
Shane Bailey hit the wall. Big
Bailey.
contact, and he's sideways through 3 and 4. Sears goes around 2. Caution flag is out.
And Services, green flag, back out.
Estes takes the restart here, heads into 1. Keller side by side with Derry. Cadwallader wheel hopping there on the inside of Schweizer. Rodney typically likes to ride the bottom 2, and that's where I think he's trying to get now, as he's still on the outside of Derry. Clayton Brown packing in right behind him. Everybody from 2nd through 10th running nose to tail. Estes trying to scoot away.
Still a log jam throughout the field. Everyone fighting for real estate. Caution comes out. Racing dirt, caution is out. Brad Derry around off of turn number 2 collects the 35G of Gavin Greer and the 7 of Shane Bailey.
That's Ground, Greer, and Bailey.
So it's 33.
Thank you.
For a second there. Well, JD asked me.
That's a real estate.
Yeah.
Once it said.
Lights are out. CR Seeds and Services. Green flag back out. Great jump from Doug Keller in the 7.
He's right up there with Estes as we go into 1, getting his nose on the inside of that machine. Doug Keller running down the backstretch, trying to find something late here. This time off of 4, the 997 is coming to 7 to go, holding off the 7K.
Laps are winding down. Can Estes keep everyone behind him? But here comes Keller on the inside off of 2. Doug Keller is there. Into 3. Keller's going to try to establish the bottom. Estes wants to block. They stay side by side. Estes now jumps out ahead at the line.
Keller looking like the Duke boys down here, jumping through every bump he can on the bottom line. Side by side, 3 wheels on the ground as he gets a big run on the bottom. Estes still clinging to that outside. Keller trying to plow through. Off of 4, Doug Keller gets it.
I think Estes got a little high off of 4 there. Opened up the door for Doug Keller, but nonetheless, new leader in the 7 car, Doug Keller, to the point. So he starts to scoot away from Estes in 2nd. All this going on. Brad Derry sitting there in 3rd, Schweizer in 4th, and Tyler Cadwallader, your top 5.
Keller takes 4 to go here. Running just a bit quicker than him is that 997 of Estes, but Keller gets a great exit off of 2. He opens that lead back up. 997 closing the gap. Derry and Schweizer right behind him, but 3 to go this time at the line for Keller.
Keller looks to have a comfortable lead on second place Estes. Now Estes has his hands full with Derry. Derry right behind him in third. Into 3 and 4 they go. 2 to go. It's going to be 2 to go at the line. Seaberg Mufflers 2 laps to go for Doug Keller.
Keller into 1 here. Estes has Derry dive bombing behind him, trying to get on the inside of that 997 to move up a spot. It's like Clayton Brown has lost a door somewhere tonight as he heads down the backstretch, and Keller off of 4 takes the Remax Heritage white flag.
Last time around for Doug Keller, that lead has been extending out. He opens it up down the backstretch. Schweizer takes a peek underneath for third. That's on Brad Derry. But through 3 and 4, Moliato checkered flag coming out for the 7 of Doug Keller. Jason Estes second, Brad Derry third, Rodney Schweizer in fourth, and Tyler Cadwalder, your top 5.
Give it up one more time for your Scobie Powerline USRA Stock Car feature winner, Doug Keller.
Race fans, at the end of this race, we're going to be calling that winning 50. Getting ready to go Carpenter Classic feature racing here. 20 laps will be the distance. Front row, Houston Johnson, Jace Witt. Green flag coming out thanks to CR Seeds and Services.
Houston leads us into 1 on the inside. Gets a little tight there as Brad Johnson and Jace Witt go side by side. Heading down the backstretch here into 3 and 4. Witt up top trying to get side by side with the 97. Brad Johnson digging there as Houston leads lap 1.
So Houston takes the first lap. Now Brad Johnson able to clear Jace Witt into turns 1 and 2. So Brad Johnson, the 18 now, your second place car. Jace Witt in the 26 in third. Tyler Grooms in fourth with Richard Lane, your top 5 as Houston comes by, puts another lap in the books.
Should be 18 to go that time by for the 97. The 18 machine of Brad Johnson running in second. 26 of Witt back in third as Johnson carries ahead of steam into 3 and 4, trying to catch Houston. Not able to get it done yet.
That 18 is driving the wheels off of that thing, trying to catch your reigning USRA national champion, Houston Johnson, the 97. So now Richard Lane seems a little slow down the front stretch. He's going to take a shortcut through 1 and 2. See if he parks that 0 car for the evening. Back up front, though, Houston Johnson holds on to that lead from him to Brad Johnson.
Brad trying to reel in the 97. Jace Witt riding by himself in third. Mark Donson trying to go to work there in the 93 of Grooms, but not able to find much. Gets the nose on the inside for a second as Houston gets about a 2-car length lead on Brad Johnson.
Into 1 and 2, Brad Johnson really narrowed that gap down. Houston powers down the backstretch, able to extend it back out. Now Brad's going to try something. He's going to run the low line through 3 and 4. That seems to be helping him. Brad Johnson, we're going to check the lap time here. Not quite as fast as Houston, but not very far behind him either.
Johnson's a little over 2/10 off, I think. Quick math here is not my specialty. As a 97 of Houston running, trying to pull away here, and that 18 machine is just not letting them.
Last lap there, Brad Johnson still about a 10th off of Houston's lap time. Excuse me, 100ths. Yeah, you're correct, Tanner. Yeah. As they roll through 3 and 4, our top 2 jump down low through the corner once again. That time by 8 laps down, 12 laps to go.
Johnson running in the 18 second bracket. It's going to be tough for the 18 to catch him. Terry Van Trump puts it in the infield. That will end his feature. As Brad Johnson running out of time here, taking 11 to go this time at the line.
Houston's staying pretty consistent, about a 18.9 second lap time. Brad Johnson right around a 19 flat, so just that little bit separating first and second here. It's Houston Johnson and the Molly Auto Group a modified.
Goes around off the front of Dotson there in 3 and 4, and that will bring no caution out. We stay green here. Racing Dirt will get their money another moment.
Back on track, Houston Johnson in that Moliato 97, still showing the way. Brad Johnson in the 18 Sonic sponsored car. I just kind of noticed that one. Still running in second. The 26J of Jace Witt making some pretty good lap times here, right around Houston's lap times, but he's still sitting in third. Mark Dotson in fourth.
As we take 8 to go that time by, Houston still pulling away, but Brad Johnson's put up an awfully good fight all night. Only 1.6 seconds back. After running 12 laps against the national champion, that's not a half bad time. As Houston in the 97 takes 7 to go.
Laps continue to wind down. Houston Johnson trying to keep that 97 out front. Brad Johnson starting to fade back just a little bit, not out of striking distance yet. If he could find some speed late in this one, but laps are closing, times are closing. 6 laps remain.
As you said, Dylan, 6 to go now. Down the backstretch here. Houston might catch a lap car there. The only one on his radar should be that 93 of Grooms after his spin. He's about a straightaway ahead of Houston as he takes 5 that time by.
Into 1 and 2, our top 2 cars, Houston Johnson and Brad Johnson, go. A little slip up off of 2 there for Brad Johnson. That's going to cost him a little time in trying to reel in your leader. As Houston comes by, puts another one away.
Into 1 and 2 there. Houston slides a little coming off the corner. Won't hurt his time too bad. As this time off of turn number 4, the 97 machine takes 3 laps to go.
Houston Johnson trying to hold on again, trying to start off on the right foot here. We've mentioned it a few times. Now Mark Dotson making a move for third. Looking underneath Jace Witt down the backstretch, will clear. But coming off of 4, it will be Seaberg Mufflers. 2 laps to go for Houston Johnson.
Houston's catching that 93 of Grooms. Dotson able to get around Witt for third. Johnson through 3 and 4 here. He doesn't need to catch Grooms. Off of turn number 4, he's coming to the Remax Heritage white flag. One more time around I-35 for the 97.
Houston's led them all so far, looking to lead the most important lap here as he heads down the backstretch. That lead back to second's definitely grown over the laps, but it's not going to matter. Houston Johnson jumps it down low. Checkered flag comes out. Molly Auto Group feature winner, Houston Johnson. Brad Johnson in second. Mark Dotson, great recovery, finishes in third. Jace Witt in fourth. It's going to be Tyler Grooms, our top 5.
This race gets started here real quick for the beginners. 50-50 raffle ticket 174 837. Side by side here for the beginner compacts as they go down the backstretch. 14 versus 14 here, a 5-lap feature for these 2 drivers. It's a 14B of Herring on the inside. Outside is a 14 JR of Myers. These 2 have been running side by side for the first 3 laps. Now Herring able to get clear on the inside. Myers making a big run into 3. It gets loose, spins out there on the inside. 14B gets it going. The 14 JR puts it on the inside.
Someone turned white flag next lap. White flag when he comes down.
14B of a Herring there. So that was our 2 to go, sponsored by Seaberg Mufflers. Off of the corner here, Herring about to take the Remax Heritage White Flag, final one of the evening. The JR is a lap down now after that spin. Herring down the backstretch here, coming to the checker. The JR of Michaela Myers running in second, but off of 4. Final feature of the night, final checkered Moley Auto Group is going to go to the 14B of Bentley Herring out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. Second place, Michaela Myers out of Atchison, Kansas.
That is all for racing action here tonight. One more time, the winning 50-50 ticket number was 1.
Well, folks, there you got it. First race of the year, March 21st, I believe, here at I-35 Speedway. Like I said early, you figure it might be I-35. They start early, they finish late. So good racing tonight. Weather was beyond good. After the sun went down and started cooling down, things really kind of looked pretty good. But that's going to do it for Cheeseworks videos here tonight at I-35 Speedway. Hope you enjoyed the races. As we say every week, check back with us again next week, and you never know where we might be. But that's going to wrap it up here for tonight at I-35. Like I say, hope you enjoyed the races, and I think we'll see you somewhere next week. So you all take care, have a good week, and keep up the fight. We'll see you.